Hey, what's up, man? We back. How you doing today, Tim?
Welcome back, audience. I'm doing great. Salim, how you feeling?
Feeling great, my man. Feeling great. Uh, how's your day today? Them dirty birds, huh?
I don't watch football anymore because this team has, got my
Hey,
blood pressure high so many times. But we beat the Saints, and
that's
before
all
you
that
call,
matters.
hey man, when you called me, I was just digging through all my old stuff trying to find some Falcons gear,
Hmm.
and I found something just to rub it in the face of all the Saints fans that's out there, brother.
Yeah, yeah, cool. That's awesome, man. I stopped watching football a long time. I stopped watching that stuff a long time ago, man. My blood pressure, my feelings, my hopes and dreams all left up just to be crashed down. I can't take it no more. So did they win?
We beat the Saints, brother. That's all that matters. I don't care about no other game the rest of the season. I don't
Yeah.
care.
Well,
We beat the Saints.
while you up there watching football, we dealing with chemical fires on this side of town.
I heard, man. I heard there's some chemical stuff going on. Biolab. Uh,
Hmm.
keep
It's
on burning the
crazy.
place down, man.
Yeah, it's like the third time in 7 years the warehouse catch on fire and sending toxic chemicals through the air.
Well, that's what they
So
get for paying these people $12 an hour to, do what they do over there when they're making billions of dollars, Salim.
they making good money over there, and I think they built a new facility over there, and continue to grow and continue to have a fire every annually. And
It's starting to
put
seem that way.
put
And
clouds, yeah, put clouds
based
in the
off
air.
of a text message you got and a phone call that I had before this broadcast, it's going to be affecting our money tomorrow, ain't it?
Absolutely. Drivers can't get out here, can't get to work. They shut down 20. So it's gonna be an interesting day tomorrow morning. We're gonna wake up early and see if the closures are open or some kind of precautions. I think that cloud should have, within that many hours, should have moved more closer to your side of town, affect y'all and be safe and make us safe.
I hope
So,
not.
huh?
I hope not. Keep that over there, man. We don't need all that over here.
Close your vents up, man, and don't run your air conditioning. Close all your windows.
Ain't got no emergency alert yet, man. We gonna run it. I'll put
Yeah,
on my COVID mask.
there you go. But in other news, let's get on to business while we're here today. Speaking about football, there's a particular Hall of Fame quarterback that's in the news today. Brett Favre, huh? Uh,
Favre,
Favre,
Favre. It's Brett Favre.
Favre, Favre,
Favre.
Favre. Is
Brett
that
Favre.
Creole? Is that Creole?
You know what? It might be, man. The dude is out of Mississippi, one of the poorest stations in the union. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Mm-hmm.
uh, Brett Favre and his cronies have been caught with the hand in the cookie jar. Brett,
Mm.
I hope you're watching this, Brett. I hope you're watching, boy.
And those were oatmeal cookies too. No, those were macadamia nut cookies because there was a big, them the expensive cookies. You know what I'm saying? Those the that damn Pepperidge Farm. Okay, that's the one that comes in the bag with the little plastic little containers that's in the cookies in the plastic container. That's the cookie jar you got your hand caught in because them boys got big money. And this is an old story, but he was talking. He's in front of Congress right now, which brings us back to the story with a lot of people who didn't know about it. He was caught up in a big money scam out there in Mississippi, but now he's trying to save face by telling everybody he's got Parkinson's. Now I don't know if that's true or not, but it's accusations that the timing is kind of funny.
It's very convenient, Like you said, this story is a couple years old, but Brett Favre had to testify in front of a congressional hearing about his dealings and stuff like that, and he just conveniently drops a bomb that he has Parkinson's disease. Well, boo hoo, Brett.
So I take it that you're not a Brett Favre fan.
Do I look like a damn green and yellow fan?
Well, I mean,
Huh?
it's not about the football team at this
I don't
point,
give a
man.
damn
It
about
did,
Brett Favre.
what did Brett Favre ever do to you, man?
it ain't what he did to me, it's what he did to his people, the citizens of Mississippi, which we're going to get into here in a minute. The poor and disenfranchised people, man. People got me messed up, Celine.
Okay.
I'm ticked off.
Right. I can see. I can tell.
I'm ticked off, man. I care about the people, man. People think I don't give a damn about the people, man. I care about the people now.
No, serious. This is a big issue because when after looking into the story, which I didn't had no idea about, when I remember what was going down, and he was getting a lot of kickback, and it came across my feed one, and I heard something about him. Kind of, I never paid attention, and it just kind of went under the rug, but because there's not a lot of information about it. But now, when after looking at it years later, I was like, God damn, uh, they really did a number on those people, and it's just straight greed,
Yeah.
And let's before we get deep into it, let's let video run. Let's let this video run,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and and let the people get a little bit of insight of what's happening. Then we'll drop them into Favre in front of Congress. Then we'll get into another video that kind of sums it all up and what's going on with the reporter. But let's kind of play the video
Okay.
and get a little reaction to it here in a second, and see what, oh Lord, and see what they got to say. You feel me?
The stadium endeavor first launched in 2017, just 1 year after Brett Favre's Hall of Fame induction cemented him as bona fide Mississippi royalty. Once the idea came to him, Favre began having conversations with some very influential figures in Mississippi politics, including then-Governor Phil Bryant and a certain nonprofit director by the name of Nancy
Oh
New,
Lord,
both of whom happen
hear
to
me.
also be Southern Miss alums, just like Brett. New was also coincidentally an excellent friend of Bryant's wife, and the nonprofit she ran, which doled out grants to at-need causes, was coincidentally one of the best funded operations in the state. Rather than Mississippi's state government dictating the best use of this money to lift citizens out of poverty, instead New and her nonprofit were given full discretion over the funds. This meant that out of public view, the definition of at-need causes could be bent and even mangled to shift this money to places you would never otherwise see it go under the guise of welfare. When
Mm.
Favre came knocking, a July
Bro, let's kind of get into it right there. Uh, just to give a little insight. Did you? So look, let's step it up. The government gave, instead of the government distributing the money out to the people,
Mm-hmm.
they gave it to her charity or
Yes.
nonprofit to disperse the funds.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the that's a knock on the government right there. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I mean, with no reins attached.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? And just to let her go run wild with the money. So that's kind of a hit on the government,
Well, they tell you in that little clip that she's basically friends with the governor's wife. You know what I mean? She was already plugged in, bro.
Boy, I tell you, boy.
I mean, what a great friend to have. I would love to
Yeah.
be friends with Governor Kemp or Governor Kemp cousin.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Just get in them rooms,
So she
right?
was already plugged in, and you
Yeah.
know,
Let's see what she tell you. Let's see what they're doing.
2017 meeting was arranged that included Favre, New, and a number of Mississippi welfare officials, even including the director of the state's Department of Human Services, John Davis. Before they went their separate ways that day, $4 million of MDHS funding had been verbally committed to this volleyball project. Why so quickly? Well, your guess is just as good as mine. But Brett Favre's stadium dream wasn't in the clear yet, for a number of different reasons. First, as was conveyed in text messages from Brett Favre to Nancy New, the university was straight up nervous about accepting such a large amount of federal grant money. And this was made worse by the fact that it was directly prohibited that money from TANF, which stands for Temporary Assistance for Needy Families, could be spent on the construction of brick and mortar buildings. In other words, building a volleyball stadium with this money was just transparently illegal. Second, even if they took this money, they still didn't have enough to guarantee full funding for construction, which was a USM policy. However, because of New's free control over these grants, what should have been very real obstacles merely required some clever legal maneuvering in order to check boxes and quiet suspicions. First things first, more money. And right off the bat, Brett came up with an idea that was likely inspired by his already colorful career in advertising. I could record a few radio spots here initially, I'm sure, right here, see how it is received, and whatever compensation could go to USM. To funnel more money into the volleyball stadium, Favre and New agree that in total an additional 1.1 million in grant dollars on top of the 4 million already will be paid to Favre personally, made legal by Favre agreeing to speaking obligations that would promote Families First for Mississippi. Ultimately, Favre cut a few radio ads for the organization, but no public appearances ever materialized, despite receiving the full sum of cash. For the record, Favre now denies that he ever even agreed to said speaking engagements. If you were to pay me, is there any way the media can find out where it came from and how much? No. We have never had that information publicized. I understand you being uneasy about that, though. Nancy Santa came today and dropped some money off. Thank you, my goodness, thank you. We need to set up the promo for you soon. You're way too kind. Now, it's worth mentioning here as well that Brett Favre has his own charity foundation, Favre for Hope, which has the stated mission of raising funds for disadvantaged children and cancer patients. But as was recently reported by The Athletic, from the years 2018 to 2020, while Favre was allegedly involved in spearheading the funding drive for Southern Miss's new volleyball facility, Favre for Hope donated over $130,000 to USM's athletic foundation. $60,000 in 2018, nearly $47,000 in 2019, and just over $26,000 in 2020. During that time frame, no other organization received a donation of over $11,000 in a single
Stop
year.
it right there, Salim.
Again,
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
This dude got a nonprofit for cancer and whatever else they said, but he donated those big lump sums to some doggone universities. Was it to the university?
Mm-hmm.
Come
Okay.
on, Favre. You care about the
What's wrong with that?
Favre for the people? What was the name of his charity? Favre for the people?
Brett Brett Favre, I don't know. Favre for Favre
For
for
the kids?
people.
Man, Favre, man, you ain't
What's wrong? I'm not seeing nothing wrong right now. Tell me what
not seeing
you're
nothing wrong.
listen, I'm
You
asking
ain't
you.
you ain't seeing what I'm seeing.
Tell me what you're seeing right now. Like here's the thing. Here's what I did see. So basically, so this lady pulled Brett Favre in. He's a big name in Mississippi. He's an alumni. These guys run together. Uh, so she's receiving funds. All the money he was getting, like he was saying, he was giving money to to the school. He's giving money to schools and whatnot. Now we haven't got to this part yet, but for speaking engagements that he did, this is the big questionable thing. Right now, it's all on her. She's controlling the money. They're talking about, hey, where could money go? Where should money go? Hey, am I gonna? The big knock on Brett Favre was the text message when the media find out. I'm not really convinced right now about you gotta convince me more. It's unclear to me why everybody just want to go after the big name, Brett Favre. That's why he's not even been convicted. He's not even brought up on charges right now.
Man, Brett Favre knew that money was meant to go to underprivileged people. It was a welfare fund of
Yeah.
about $77 million that went to these illegitimate projects.
Okay.
5 million of it went to this specific
4 million.
project.
4 million was dedicated to that. It's supposed to go towards that volleyball.
Wrote him a check
facility.
right away.
Now that's that. Well, right. That well, they
They wrote a
did
check to the school right
school.
away. Right?
Yeah, but okay. So I'm gonna tell you something right now. And these kinds of things, this always happens. That's why a nonprofit is such a big business, and it's not supposed to play out like this. When it's these large amounts of money, man, that's why they try to spin it. They try to spin it like, oh, hey, we should put a facility at the school. In that facility, we can bring people in and help them.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, so
We all know
5%.
what it is. It's all these rich alma mater people putting their doggone, cronies to work, building up their school. The school
Yeah,
they
building
get millions of dollars in tuitions every year. They get millions of dollars in grant, or at least thousands of dollars in grants every year. These kids are taking out loans and all this stuff, and you got what really pisses me off is you got money allocated for the poor people in that state, which is the poorest state in the United States. And I hear that half of the people in that state, I mean, people are getting denied welfare benefits left and right. The people that really need it, you
Yeah.
know. It,
The money absolutely went the wrong way. It went the wrong way. Went down the wrong alleys. It got into the hands of a person who was not, you know,
yeah,
not going to say not qualified, but was not the right
he
person
didn't
to
need the money. His daughter
disperse the money.
played
It
volleyball. His
wasn't even
wife
out.
was
No, it's
making
not
his
even about
money.
Brett Favre. It's Nancy New was the problem.
No, it was Brett Favre's idea to build that damn volleyball facility. It was
They
Brett
were,
Favre's idea.
it was their idea. I think Brett Favre was. I don't know if it was okay. It was Brett Favre's idea. They always talking about. It was his idea. That's fine. But I'm just saying.
What are you saying?
What I'm trying to say is, I
Take it
don't.
up for the man? You a damn Packers fan?
No, not at all. Not at all. I'm trying to.
Did he
I'm
give
still.
you money?
But I wasn't indicted. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Huh?
good. I'm good. But listen. Here's the thing. I want to get to the part where he was talking about um, how he, oh, took money for what he took money for. He took money
All
for
right,
speaking engagements.
let's go for it. Let's
That's
let's
the
let's let
that's the
it
more important thing.
let's
And
let's ride it. Let's let it ride.
yeah,
I'll reiterate, this charity's stated mission is to support disadvantaged children and cancer patients. Now back to making sure the project's funding is technically allowed under federal law. Attorneys from the state's Department of Human Services put in work to craft an agreement that gave the illusion that the project's intention was to assist those in poverty first and foremost. At one point, Favre and New even discussed putting Governor Phil Bryant's name on the building, maybe as a thank you for allegedly helping guide them through the legal tightropes that exist to prevent exactly what was being attempted. He said to me just a second ago that he has seen it, but hint, hint, that you need to reword it to get it accepted. Listen, all right? These $4 million welfare dollars are not for a volleyball stadium, okay? This is a lease agreement for Nancy New's nonprofit to host some community programs on campus. That way, right in the middle of this college, events like rallies or parenting classes can be held and assist those that are in poverty. Surely, all of us together can lock arms and agree this is the most effective use of $4 million of welfare in the poorest state in the Union. Regardless, that concept was enough for approval, and over the next few years, money would continue to trickle into the project with cost-cutting measures still being brainstormed at every corner. My personal favorite is a 2018 text from Favre to Governor Phil Bryant, passing along the idea that maybe the prison system could be utilized for cheaper construction. Can't say that I had considered that one. Eventually, things were moving so swimmingly that Favre even contacted Bryant again with the idea to build a brand new football facility this time, presumably with even more money from the same fund, though that project never materialized. It wouldn't be until early 2020 that the USM Wellness Center, yes, that is its official name, would open its doors, unfortunately with very little fanfare due to the global pandemic going on. So, considering the timeline of all of these events, why is it that we are just now learning of this years after the fact? Well, like I mentioned earlier, this case of defrauding Mississippi's welfare fund of tens of millions of dollars is much larger than just Brett Favre. In early 2020, that scheme began to unravel when state auditors questioned whether massive sums of money were being spent inappropriately, culminating in the arrest of 6 individuals, including former MDHS Director John Davis and the one and only Nancy New. The fallout of this audit over the following years was far-reaching, with a civil suit filed by the state's Department of Human Services to recoup $20 million in misspent funds, including the $1.1 million Favre received personally, demanded back in full with interest. As far as it is known, Favre eventually returned the $1.1 million after some considerable resistance, but he still has refused to pay the $228,000 in interest that still remains. Also brought to light in all of this was the fact that $2.15 million in welfare funds had been funneled from New's nonprofit to a pharmaceutical company called Prevacus, one that Favre backed personally. It may not be the best of looks, but Favre maintains that he had no idea the funds paid to him or USM were intended to go to those in need. Why then that he would be nervous about the media finding out the source of the money? If that's the case, well, your guess is just as good as mine. Earlier this year in 2022, Nancy New and her son Zach pleaded guilty.
Look, that's a So Uh, here's the thing, man. That's pretty much. Look, here's the thing. You
It's messed up, Salim.
it is
You know.
messed up because all that money was supposed to go towards was supposed to be. It was just embezzlement. It was a mismanagement of funds. The money was supposed to go to help disenfranchised people in that country, in that county, in that state, city, whatever. And it's a mishandle of funds. Brett Favre got a hand on some of that money. Now, here's what I always wondered: you get millions of dollars just for speaking engagements and autographs. Like that's the craziest thing to me. You see what I'm saying? Like,
Hmm.
how do you, who makes this kind of money speaking engagements, sell out stadiums to hear you speak? That's like the biggest scam ever. Um, and I think he didn't even show up, but then he gave the money back. So yeah,
He gave 100. He gave the 1.1 million back,
he gave the one
but
point
he's
seven. Yeah,
yeah. What
however
is it?
much it was, 1.1.
$1.1 million, but he still owes the state of Mississippi $228,000 in
Just for,
interest.
after
They
interest.
want their money, Brett.
Yeah. So like I said, to me, it's a bad look on Brett, man, and he never was indicted. He never got caught up in any scams. It's just like he just got money indirectly from the state. So that's might be his saving grace.
At least he was smart enough not to put his damn name on the building, right?
Or not even just that. It's just that he was the way they played it. You got to understand, why did he get indicted? Why didn't the governor get indicted? Who got money?
Right.
There's only two people: it was Nancy New, her son, and another guy, the director, I think of.
They were the fall guys. And Nancy been doing it for a
But
long
Nancy was
time. That's
controlling the
why
situation.
Nancy been doing it for a long time, and that's
She
why she
controlled
got indicted.
the money came through her hands, and she paid people out. See, like here's the thing: the money didn't come directly. It was TANF money, but it didn't. It came from her charity.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So
It was Brett's idea.
it was her idea.
If I'm not
It
mistaken,
was
it
her
wasn't it
idea.
Brett's idea.
Nah, it was her. I think she was the main driving force behind it. That's why she got all the kickback from it. Be honest with you,
You
the
don't
way I'm
think?
seeing it, Brett threw some ideas around and they went with some of it. But I mean, is that against the law?
I know Brett's daughter was a volleyball player. You know, as soon as she enrolled into what is it, Southern Mississippi University.
New stadium, new facility.
Hey, they need a new stadium. Our
It's big.
alma mater.
Yeah, big
Hey,
money, man.
Nancy, it's your alma mater. Hey, Phil, it's your alma mater. Hey,
Big
don't the
money.
welfare people got about $77 million?
Yeah,
Hell, I'd sign a couple footballs and do some radio ads for you.
and the governor. The governor did it. The
Yeah, Phil.
governor. Yeah, governor was
What's
in
his
on it.
name? Phil Bryant. That's
Yeah.
Phil. You ain't. Why I oughta Phil? Oh man.
And that's the sad part about it, man. They could have came up with better ideas to help the people in the community.
Yeah.
And I'm not just talking about giving away money, paying bills and stuff like that.
Tiffany Hayner could have handled that damn money a whole
No.
lot better.
Oh, she at least threw parties on and gave away some TVs and some free bingo at a bingo thing. But to me, like I said, there's a lot of other things you could do. You could take some of that money to small businesses that are already up and running
Hmm.
and boost those businesses. You see what I'm saying? I think that would have been a better idea.
Or just feed the damn people, man. The people are poor. The median income in Mississippi. Seriously, Salim, listen to
Hold
what I'm
on,
telling
you
you.
didn't
The
listen.
median
That just went
income.
over your head. You just said feed the people. I just said you want to make that money continue to churn and burn. You want to put on a damn. You want to do a barbecue with a $70 million barbecue. I just said if you have a lot of small businesses, a guy with a chicken wing stand, a barber shop, these are money that's going to circulate in that community. A portion of that could have went to small businesses
That's
and
true.
help making money and employ people in that community from those people in that community.
That's true. And the
and they
rest of
could.
that money could have went to approving some damn food stamps and some WIC for some
I
damn
mean,
poor
they could have.
people
They
out there.
could. There a portion could have went there. This is millions of dollars. So how big is this area? This money gets sucked
$77
up.
million was squandered, bro.
Right. So what I'm saying, what? How big is this area? Is it a small city? Is it a big city? Money like that gets sucked up quick because
It's the state.
the people who facilitate the movement of this money, they get paid, and all the motherfuckers be getting like $100,000 salaries. You get what I'm saying? So this money gets sucked up quick. Oh, you get paid 100,000, you get paid 60,000. So they got a big old staff, and they now their jobs is to facilitate money, and they got to have a office to rent. You know what I'm saying? They got to have all these meetings, and everything's catered. Shit. So you're looking at over a course of 5 years, however that works out. So now you're talking about a good 10, maybe good $10 million or $15 million just on people just to orchestrate where that money's gonna go. Whatever, bullshit still. And I'm just saying, give it to small businesses in that community that are already up and running who need boosters. Do some things that's going to give out some food and some clothing. The portion can go to that. There's ways they can do it, but instead they gave it to this lady. Say, hey, figure something out, and then it went to places it never should have went to.
They've been doing it for years, man. They just
How
got caught
that
with their
happens?
hand in the
It
cookie
happened.
jar.
This is like it's and then at the end of the day, two or three people get locked up, and then life goes on, and people still sitting there, and still poor. You see what I'm saying? So that's a knock on the government, in my opinion. That's a knock on
Yeah.
the government because I mean they should have did a better job dishing out them funds. I mean that's simple. Brett Favre is just a big name. He's the most recognizable name, and he's got caught up in it. So everybody wants to look and call it a Brett Favre thing. You see,
Yeah,
you know,
so he basically has had a congressional hearing. You got a little bit of that, don't you?
yeah. He was, he went in there and talked, and that's what pretty much brought the whole thing into,
Let's hear
you
what he
know,
got to say
brought it
to the
back up.
people.
Yeah, we'll see what he got to say. Let's get into it. Old Brett Favre.
Smith, Ranking Member Neal, members of the committee. My name is Brett Favre, and I very much appreciate the opportunity to testify here today. I was born and raised in Mississippi. My parents were school teachers. I played football for Southern Miss and professionally for 20 years and was inducted into the Football Hall of Fame. Since I retired from football, I've engaged in various business enterprises, endorsed products I believe in, and with my wonderful wife, Deanna, helped many charities in my home state and elsewhere. Throughout my career, there were many highs and many lows. Those lows helped me find out who I really am. They taught me to persevere, overcome challenges, and succeed. But the challenges my family and I have faced over the last 3 years because certain government officials in Mississippi failed to protect federal TANF funds from fraud and abuse and are justifiably trying to blame me, those challenges have hurt my good name and are worse than anything I faced in football. When this started, I didn't know what TANF was. Now I know TANF is one of the country's most important welfare programs to help people in need. This is a cause dear to my heart and to Deanna's, as we have our own Far for Hope Foundation to help disadvantaged children. In 2020, Mississippi claimed that $77 million in TANF funds had been misspent, resulting in criminal convictions of state officials and people running a nonprofit which had received these funds. This nonprofit had a long-standing partnership with the state and an impeccable reputation. Mississippi also brought a civil lawsuit against numerous individuals, including me. The gag order bars the parties from discussing the specifics of the lawsuit. Instead, I'm here to share what I've now seen up close about how reforms are needed to stop the misspending of TANF funds. Even before I was sued, when I was informed that the nonprofit appeared to have improperly used TANF funds, I returned to the state the funds I had received. Even though I had provided services to the nonprofit, and even though I knew, and I know, I had done nothing wrong, I returned the funds, no questions asked. I had also offered to help raise funds for a new volleyball facility at Southern Miss, the one that's gotten all the publicity. I wanted to help my alma mater and benefit the community. Southern Miss introduced me to the nonprofit to see if they could help with the funding. I had no way of knowing that there was anything wrong with how the state funded the project, especially since it was publicly approved by many state agencies and multiple attorneys, including the Attorney General. Sadly, I also lost an investment in a company that I believed was developing a breakthrough concussion drug I thought would help others. And I'm sure you'll understand why it's too late for me, because I've recently been diagnosed with Parkinson.
Oh,
Man, hit the top button. Stop it right there. Oh, how convenient. How
What's wrong?
convenient.
What's
Brett.
wrong, man? You got Parkinson's. What's wrong? You got Parkinson's, man. Oh Lord.
I know what that is, boy. But look, how convenient is it for Brett Favre to call out now at his congressional hearing about the money that he basically helped funnel through that non-profit, for-profit organization with your girl Nancy New, and man, that's some bull crap, man. He knew about it. There's text messages between him and Nancy of him asking, can the press find out about how much money I'm getting? Nigga, Lord, forgive me.
Woo.
Brett,
Hot boy, got you
yeah,
hot.
it got me hot, man. I thought Brett was cool before this, man. I thought Brett was an all right dude. He was a good old boy. Good old boy.
So that boy got you hot, boy. I mean, listen.
Up that line crying, man.
Now you
TMZ
got
reported
Parkinson's.
this man got diagnosed with Parkinson's back in February of this year, and that he released a statement telling them not to make it public because he knew about this hearing that was going to happen this past Tuesday.
It'd be a good time to let the world know.
Some of them a bitch.
Yeah. Hey, listen, like I said, hey man, I don't, he made over how much money in his
He
career?
made over $100-something million over his career, bro.
So,
on and off the field.
And listen, I'm not mad at him trying to get more money, continue to make money, continue what you got to do. But I mean, you don't have to, you can put that thing on cruise control.
Robbing from the poor and giving it to the rich, bro.
You could put that thing on cruise control. Listen, just because you make $100 million over your career, don't mean you sit on $100 million. Man,
Yeah, but
hold on.
regardless.
Listen, let me just say he could be sitting on. How much you think he's sitting on?
It don't matter what he's sitting on, bro. You shouldn't be trying to.
It don't matter. But what I'm trying to say is people still work to make money. So he's still moving, making investments. He's still trying to do speaking engagements, trying to do his thing. And you're right. If he had any inkling of an idea that money coming was supposed to be used for something else, shame on him. You see what I'm saying? He should have been like, look, man, I don't want nothing to do with this. I'm going to be, there's going to be a witch hunt out for me because I'm the big name here. So y'all can just do what y'all got to do. We can find another way. That's what he should have did. Backed out of it. You see what I'm saying? But, like you said, no, I'm saying when it was happening, as it was happening, you understand what I'm saying?
He was one of the orchestrators.
No, she was the orchestrator. What the hell are you talking about?
He was one of the orchestrators.
No, what are you talking about? Listen, they always in on it.
They always. All right.
I don't. You think he the one that came in and said, like,
I wanted volleyball? Not okay. I get it. Nancy wanted a.
Nancy got the money first.
Yeah.
So listen, she got the money first. I don't think that Brett Favre, before Nancy got the money, knew that TANF was going to give the money to Nancy. And then, oh, hey, listen, Nancy, we work on a deal. I got them to give you this money. You take the money, but we're going to be putting some things together, okay? No, she got the money. Now they got to find ways to launder the money, or not necessarily launder, but to embezzle and get the money. You got to flush that money from the TANF money, send it out to other directions, make it look good. Then we put it in your pocket. That's the game.
Isn't there a text message between Brett and Nancy, and I guess Brett is telling Nancy, like, hey, you're gonna have to do this, hint,
That was from Nancy. That was from the governor, because they remember when they talk about the governor wanted to.
That was between Brett and Nancy, though.
Listen, man. Listen, this is very vague. I don't know. People.
Brett ain't shit. He ain't shit, man. What else you got on the story?
Hey, well, listen. Here's the thing, man. I don't know. Like I said, he not indicted. He didn't. Who knows? I think. Like I said, at the point I was making before, if he knew that money came, he don't know where that money came from. They all knew where the money came from.
He
It
definitely
was
knew
$10
that.
dollars. That's what I'm trying to say. This is the
Lie
point.
detector determined that was a lie.
$10 of dollars. This money just don't come from nowhere. They knew where the money came from. Damn, this money $10 of dollars. What is 10 of? Oh shit! I just found out what 10 of was when I looked into the story.
All right, so we got
This money's supposed to go to disenfranchised people.
Right. So we're going to say that the stadium is going to be for us to host charity events, and what did she say that the day?
Yeah, like
we're gonna host
like kumbaya. There was like kumbaya
for
sessions.
the community.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Y'all can come in here every now and then and talk about your problems once a quarter. You see what I'm saying? After that, I'm running my own business out of here. So yes, they knew that. That is shame on him. But the reporter who broke this story, right?
Mm-hmm.
And brought the whole story to fruition, guess what? They after her, man. They after her. And that's the sad part. You know what I mean? And they call it a scandal, right? Let's take a peek into this one and see how, and really kind of see. Let me share this with y'all real quick, because this is the sad part about it. This girl did some good, but now it's backfiring.
Remember that story from a couple years ago where the former NFL quarterback Brett Favre was caught up in a state Mississippi welfare fraud scandal? It involved state officials diverting funds meant for poor, mostly Black women and children, according to public records. The series ran in this small nonprofit outlet called Mississippi Today, and we featured it on our show quite a bit. We spoke with Anna Wolf, the reporter who broke the story back in September of 2022. It was just a remarkably impressive piece of investigative journalism that went on to win a Pulitzer last year. But since then, as NBC News correspondent Ken Delanian explains, the reporter has been embroiled in a lawsuit that might land her in jail.
This is the kind of corruption that Mississippians know all too well.
Anna Wolf's reporting at Mississippi Today exposed a huge scandal in the poorest state in America.
Oh, Lord.
$77 million in welfare funds intended for children in need went instead to multiple pet projects, including this horse ranch, this volleyball arena, and to sports celebrities like Hall of Fame quarterback Brett Favre. Favre was never charged, but the reporting led to 8 criminal indictments and journalism's biggest prize. Adam Ganishow is the editor of the paper.
You can't just win a Pulitzer unless there's real impact.
2 days after the Pulitzer announcement, we got the first threat of legal action.
Former Mississippi Governor Phil Bryant, who was in office when the fraud occurred, is suing the newspaper, Wolf, and other staffers for defamation, saying Mississippi Today wrongly accused him of a crime. Allegations in court documents suggest Bryant was among those who directed the spending, but he maintains he did nothing illegal.
I did nothing wrong. I wasn't aware of the wrongdoings of others.
How would you explain to somebody who's never heard about this, Phil Bryant's overall role in the welfare scandal?
So it's pretty well laid out. It doesn't say that he did anything illegal. This is an agency under the governor's office. I mean, he has control, he has oversight.
Bryant did not initially sue over the newspaper's prize-winning reporting. Instead, he brought the case over how the reporting was later described, including when the newspaper's CEO said Bryant embezzled funds, which is not true. He was never charged, and there's no indication he's under criminal investigation. Bryant's attorney, Billy Quinn, says that was the last straw.
Say again?
I didn't say nothing.
Oh, okay. Well,
But if you
a lot
wanna,
has been said.
Yeah, I mean, this guy, he's butthurt and he's trying to save face. A lot of people, when they get caught up in scandals like this, if they don't go to jail, what they do? They sue.
You trying to save face?
Yeah, he was even more butthurt when they got the Pulitzer Prize for their reporting. Oh, goddamn, they got a Pulitzer on my name? Oh, hell nah, buddy. Hell nah, buddy.
It's a mess, man, and like these jobs come with a big responsibility. They come with a huge responsibility, and you gotta be squeaky clean, man, because any kind of hiccup or mess up, dude, they coming for your arse. They coming for your arse, my man. They coming for your arse.
Yeah,
And
I'm just glad these people, exposed them, because now they're going to keep doing it, but now they got to be a lot cleaner. They're going to have to be a lot cleaner. They're going to have to, hopefully it just stops, man.
I mean, this
Hopefully it
kind of stuff been
stops.
going on ever since money gets allocated. People going to try to find a way to weasel themselves out of some of that money somehow, some way. And I don't know what to say about it, man. Hopefully, people continue to do their job, investigate it like this young lady did, hold them accountable. And man, just get the money out to the people, man. Listen, these guys make big money. Brett Favre's made a lot of money. Governors make good money. It's just greed, man. It's just greed. So I don't know what to say about it. I got a lot to say about it, but we'll be here another 40 minutes trying to,
Yeah, if Brett Favre indeed has Parkinson's disease, Brett, we hope that you are able to, find some medication and some treatment to keep that at bay. But karma's real, buddy. What goes around comes around, and there's a price that has to be paid for our deeds.
Yeah.
None of us are perfect, but if you knew that money was allocated for the poorest people in your state that you claim to love so much, and you still went ahead and help orchestrate this scheme, and they said he tried to build a damn a football stadium with the funds. He asked, were there some a way we could get some free labor from prisoners?
He didn't ask that. That was the idea. Maybe the governor said that. It wasn't Brett Favre.
It was Brett asking the governor that.
No,
Rewind the tape. It was Brett asking the governor, "Can we do the same thing, and get some prisoners involved to help with labor costs or something like that?" Am I just making stuff up as I go?
I heard that part, but I thought somebody was suggesting it. Maybe he was suggesting it, but
Brett was suggesting it. I mean, after the volleyball thing went through, Brett was like, "Hell, let's build a football stadium."
Yeah, get some of the prisoners to do. Get some of the prisoners to.
That's free labor there.
To society, repay his debt to society. Damn, Brett, bad look for old Brett.
I got family in Mississippi, man. I visited I was telling you about over there by the beach last year, Gulf Shores or wherever.
Yeah.
Beautiful, man, beautiful town, beautiful people, mixed community, a lot of people of color there, a lot of white people. Everybody was super nice, man, and it really gave me a different outlook on Mississippi, because I didn't like Mississippi before. And Brett, you're making me not like Mississippi again.
It's a lot, man. We can get into the whole details about it. What makes Mississippi?
Come on down to Georgia there, fellas.
Why Mississippi so damn poor? Why can't they get something up and running over there?
Because it's still one of the most racist places in the world.
Because about
in
racism?
The country, Craig. Yeah, man. I mean, they're just, you know what? I don't have all the answers. Sway. I don't have all the answers. Okay.
Hey, listen, I don't know. Like, I don't know much about. I don't know nothing. I don't know anything about Mississippi, actually.
The things that we went through in this.
All I know is Rod from Mississippi. That's the only thing I know about Mississippi.
Who?
Rod
racist. What's up, Rod? I hope you're watching this, you racist son of a gun.
That's the only thing I knew about Mississippi was Rod was from Mississippi. That's the only thing I knew about Mississippi.
Look, the reason why Mississippi is still one of the poorest states in the country right now is for things like this, what we went over in this video. People at the top not doing right with the money that's allocated, man. And, y'all let us know in the comments what y'all think. Do we have any viewers in Mississippi? Let us know y'all thoughts about this, man. But I've recently watched a few documentaries on Mississippi, man. It's very segregated still in those cities, in those small cities and towns there. There's not much infrastructure and building projects going on, man. And it's just a lot of corruption, man. And when you have corruption and stuff like that, the people suffer. People at the bottom suffer. So we praying for our family and friends in Mississippi. And Brett Favre, may the Lord have mercy on your soul.
All right. There you go. You out, right? All right, bro. Hey man, it's been a good one. Signing out, Slim V World. Tim motivates. We'll see you again for the next one. Peace.
Peace.